Meeting number 9, Thursday, Annex Room 149. Please call roll.
Representative Banta,
Present.
Representative Bentley,
Yes, ma'am.
Representative Bowling,
Here.
Representative Branscombe,
Here.
Representative Bray,
Present.
Representative Brown,
Here.
Representative Dossett,
Present.
Representative Flannery,
Here.
Representative Fleming,
Here.
Representative Frazier Gordon,
Here.
Representative Freeland,
Here.
Representative Fugit,
Here.
Representative Gentry,
Here.
Representative Hart,
Here.
Representative Johnson,
Here.
Representative McCool,
Here.
Representative McPherson,
Here.
Representative Palumbo, Representative Raymond, Representative Riley, Representative Stevenson, Representative Upchurch,
Here.
Vice Chair Reed,
Here.
Chair Petrie.
Here. We have a quorum to conduct business. First up, we have Senate Joint Resolution 98, a joint resolution directing the council on post-secondary education to study the placement and services provided by public universities and community and technical colleges in the Commonwealth. Sponsor, Senator Robert Stivers. If you will, make sure that your green light is really green, the microphone's close enough to you, and please introduce yourself for the record.
My green light is green, Mr. Chairman. Good morning. It's always a pleasure to come before the committee and members. My name is Robert Stivers. I'm the senator from the 25th Senate District.
If you'll raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please proceed.
Since now that this committee has me under oath, you all can ask me a lot of questions about the chairman.
Motion on the floor.
You have to keep some sense of jocularity at this time of the session and after the nights we've had. But thank you, Mr. Chairman, member of the committee again. I look around, and before I started, I don't think anybody was here 26 years ago except maybe Frank Willie. But that's when we did the reforms on post-secondary education, higher education, which the community and technical, well, it was the community colleges at that time were taken from the University of Kentucky, and that was some of the best political theater I've seen in my career. It was pretty sweeping in its substance, but it's been now a little over 25 years. There is no agenda or preconceived outcome. It is just something that I think it's time to review. Yes, there is an emphasis on Southeast Kentucky. It is the one region that has never had a freestanding four-year residential university. It may not be feasible, but I'm giving somewhat of a historical perspective. You know, Pike was always saying, well, why doesn't it come into the system? The last regional university to come in the system was Northern Kentucky University under then Governor Louis Nunn. You know, that's one aspect of it. But the bigger aspect of this is just stepping back and looking at the whole system. When this system was created, did anybody think that we were going to have 20 million people working remotely? Are we really delivering to the student what they need to retrain to get into the job market today? Are the schools, universities, technical, community colleges, regional universities, are ones providing the direction and the classes that are both seamless, transferable, affordable, all the things related to anything you can think of in having a modern, educated workforce. And so I'm asking, we've talked about this, I spoke with the speaker, it's time just to review it. Have them come back with recommendations. Tell us what's good, what's bad. And then we'll see as a General Assembly if there's anything we want to implement or can implement. That's the resolution.
We have a motion and a second on the resolution. Representative McCool.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't have a question, but I just want to say thank you, President Stivers, for bringing this forth. I do think this is a very good process. I wasn't here in the legislature, but I was on the other end working for the vocational school at the time. So it is time to look at this again and make sure that we're doing the right thing, what we set out to do 20-some years ago. So thank you for bringing this forth. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Seeing no other members seeking recognition, please call roll.
Representative Banta,
Yes.
Representative Bentley,
Yes, ma'am.
Representative Bowling,
Yes.
Representative Branscombe,
Yes.
Representative Gray, Representative Brown,
Yes.
Representative Dossett,
Yes.
Representative Flannery,
Aye.
Representative Fleming, Representative Frazier Gordon, Representative Freeland,
Yes.
Representative Fugit,
Yes.
Representative Gentry,
Yes.
Representative Hart,
Yes.
Representative Johnson,
Yes.
Representative McCool,
Yes.
Representative McPherson,
Yes.
Representative Palumbo, Representative Raymond,
Yes, may I explain?
Briefly, please.
I think it's a great time to do it because having worked at U of L for the last several years, I know higher ed across the board is facing a crisis because we have a dwindling number of 18-year-olds. So we need to align the population with our services. Thank you.
Representative Riley, Representative Stevenson,
Yes.
Representative Upchurch,
Yes.
Vice Chair Reed, Chair Petrie.
Yes. Senate Joint Resolution 98, having received 23 yes votes, 0 nay votes, and 0 pass votes, will be reported from this committee with favorable expression that same should pass on the floor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am disappointed that no one asked me any questions about it.
I'm a little disappointed also. Next up, if we could take Senate Bill 241, an act relating to the Department of Fish and Wildlife Resources, making an appropriation therefore and declaring an emergency. Sponsor, Senator Robin Webb. If each of you that may be presenting or at the table, please make sure your green lights are really green, microphone sufficiently close to you, and introduce yourselves for the record, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senator Robin Webb, District 18, and it's sort of like a homecoming for me. I spent about 10 years on this committee, sitting where Representative Reed is, and it's just good to be back.
Commissioner Rich Storm, Kentucky Fish and Wildlife.
And I'm Heather Majors Jeffs. I'm with the Nature Conservancy in Kentucky.
Good. If each of you will raise your right hands, please. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
Please proceed.
This Senate bill is kind of a continuation of last year, if you recall, Senate Bill 217. And for any new members, that was, we have a 3-state elk project with about 54,000 acres in cooperation with the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the Nature Conservancy, and Tennessee and Virginia. And we need to get that deal done. There was an appropriation last year. However, we've had a little bit of a delay on the Finance Cabinet side. This bill, the first part of this bill, allows, takes some of that away from finance, which they are good with the language in that regard, and allows Fish and Wildlife to proceed with the timeline that we're under, and similar to what Tennessee's doing.
I have a motion and a second on Senate Bill 241. Please proceed at your peril or your discretion.
Well, if anybody's got any questions, there's other parts of the bill, and I think I will say that a portion of Representative Wesley's bill from last year is also in it, and the rest of it's just clarification on some things we did in direct and finance and taking some of that back to Fish and Wildlife. It's been a rough transition year, and we need this bill.
I have a motion and a second on Senate Bill 241. Seeing no members seeking recognition, motion having been made, please call the roll.
Representative Banta,
Yes.
Representative Bentley,
Yes, ma'am.
Representative Bowling,
Yes.
Representative Branscombe,
Yes.
Representative Gray,
Yes.
Representative Brown,
Yes.
Representative Dossett,
Yes.
Representative Flannery,
Yes.
Representative Fleming, Representative Frazier Gordon, Representative Freeland,
Yes.
Representative Fugit, Representative Gentry,
Yes.
Representative Hart,
Yes.
Representative Johnson,
Yes.
Representative McCool,
Yes.
Representative McPherson,
Yes.
Representative Palumbo, Representative Raymond,
No for right now.
Representative Riley, yes, Representative Stevenson,
Explain my vote.
Briefly, please.
So this being a cleanup bill to a bill last year that lots and lots of my sportsmen were asking me to vote no on, I'm going to be a no right now until I can dig in a little bit further and have some other conversations. Thank you.
Representative Upchurch,
Yes.
Vice Chair Breed, yes, Chair Petrie.
Yes, and really quickly, thank you to Commissioner Storm and your staff for helping me get up to speed on this, and Senator Webb, as well as Representative Bowling. Appreciate y'all's work on it. Senate Bill 241 having received 21 yes votes, 2 no votes, 0 pass votes, will be reported from this committee with favorable expression. The same should pass on the floor. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members.
Next up, we'll take Senate Bill 33, an act relating to Kentucky Cybersecurity Center. Sponsor, Senator Michael J. Nemus. And if each of you will, make sure your green lights are really green, the microphones are close enough to you, and please introduce yourselves for the record.
I'm Senator Mike Nemus from Bullitt County, District 38.
Brigadier General retired Steve Bullard, Executive Director, Kentucky Commission on Military Affairs.
Kevin Gardner, Executive Vice President for Research and Innovation at University of Louisville.
Very good. If each of you will raise your right hands, please. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. Senate Bill 33 will establish Kentucky Cyber Security Center, and it'll be a regional center like the one in Georgia and Florida. Right now, I'll cut this real short because I know that it's going to be a long day, and there's over 75,000 jobs, a six-figure income that we can't fill. There's kids in our STEM programs and that would love to be doing this and don't know it. I talked to some of my pages that go to Western Kentucky, that special program for STEM, and when I talked to them about it, they would love to do this. So this sets up a program where it's going to be housed at U of L, and the reason for it is because there's tons of money from the feds that want to bring money into these kind of programs, and they have the R1 research facility at U of L that can bring the grants through to help the rest of the universities. We have 6 universities that have the top line curriculum that's NSA approved, and we want to help bring the pipeline K through 12, help with their programs and build programs and their teachers and their curriculum to bring the pipeline through the universities and to businesses and to military. And it'll be regional for other centers, other states to come in here instead of our kids going from our state to other places. So that's the short of it. I could talk all day on it, but
And I appreciate the shortened version, given the context of today. I believe this was presented on during the interim also. Is that
yes,
correct?
yes.
All right. I have Representative Hart.
Yeah, this is more for maybe clarification purposes, but I'm assuming since this is a regional university, you're going to be willing and open to working with the other universities in the state, like NKU and some of them that have cyber programs.
Not just that. That's the responsibility of the center. The only reason it's housed at U of L is because it has to be at U of L or UK because of the regional center. U of L's already been reaching out to the other universities and K through 12 to bring a pipeline. Northern Kentucky is all on board. UK is all on board, and we have some programs now. We want to feed those programs and get K through 12 where the kids know what this is and want to do this for a career.
Okay.
It can be remote for the Eastern Kentucky and Western.
Can I just add one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Add one quick data point, and that is that recently there's tens of millions of dollars available through National Security Agency and other federal agencies that we're trying to bring to the state of Kentucky. In the recent years, we've gotten a lot of National Security Agency dollars. The last contract we got we've spent about $5 million. About $1 million of that went to the community and technical college system. So that money is being spread to all the partners that we have when we go in for these grants, so just as an example.
Okay, thanks for the clarification.
Representative Freeland, and I will remind everybody we have session at 9 and we have 3 more bills after this.
Okay, thank you. Just a quick question, but how would something like this impact Murray State University? They have a NSA recognized, Department of Homeland Security recognized cybersecurity center.
They have fantastic. They have the bachelor's and the master's program there. So this will help feed students through their program and help them with grants that they're already applying for by being a research facility. Because the way grants go is there's a lot of times it's more cooperation than one-on-one. When sometimes the grants can be written through the Cyber Center to help with any of the other entities or all the entities.
One more question, Chairman.
Please.
What about preference in funding? Would that move Louisville up the ranks, or how would that work?
This is Kentucky Regional Cyber Center. It's not actually U of L. It's being housed at U of L far because it needs to be, and it's the center that will be getting the grants, if not the entities like, say, Murray, Northern Kentucky, or certain businesses or K through 12 systems, or whoever will be getting the grant. Some of them, not all of them, will be coming through the cybersecurity system. It won't be going to U of L.
And maybe 6 months ago, one of the first conversations we had with Dr. Ramage, who's director of the Cybersecurity Center at Murray State University, about what does this look like and how can this help. And we've had that dialogue with all the institutions across the state, even Cumberland's and UK, and everybody's on board with that. And Dr. Ramage was really excited. And there were some specific things that I won't go into here. But
well, I have to be honest that the president of Murray is skeptical, but all the other ones are on. Northern was very, very skeptical, and when we explained it to them, they're very much on board with it.
Good. Representative Frazier.
Hi, yes, my question is much in the same vein. Naturally, Eastern Kentucky University with their outstanding Homeland Security programs. I just wanted to make sure that they have been involved.
Will specifically help Eastern because they don't have the curriculum for the cyber and NSA approved and this and that, and this center can help them get that.
Perfect. Thank you.
And they were involved. They were on our last call that we had, which was a statewide call. Absolutely.
Thank you for that.
Representative McCool.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Along that same line, typically programs are approved by your Board of Regents and the Council of Post-Secondary Education. Has this been brought forth to the Board of Regents for University of Louisville and the Council of Post-Secondary Education for their approval?
I don't know about the boards, but I talked to Aaron Thompson, the CPE, and he's all on board. And U of L's president and that are very much on board. As far as the tech, there are 2 out of the 6 universities that are tech universities that are tech schools that have the curriculum that's the highest class.
Representative Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The net fiscal impact of this measure is indeterminable and is based on the cost of infrastructure, hire staff, and the ability to collect revenue. Can someone speak to that?
Yes. Last year we asked for $1 million the first year and $10 million the next to get it off the ground, and it was in the conference committee to do it, and it got lost in the shuffle at the last hour and wasn't put in. So I'm sure that it will be coming next year to ask for that. But I kind of like doing the bill now because the funding mechanism is there, and with all the excitement from the military and the national and businesses and that, I'm hoping, of course I'm the eternal optimist, that we'll get off and running and not even have to ask for money. In Georgia, after a couple of years, they have so much money coming in that they had to do a 401c3 to be able to properly spend it because it was attached to the university and a government entity.
Motion on the bill.
I have a motion and a second on the bill. I have 3 more representatives seeking recognition. We're going to leave those 3 on the list and see if we can get through those efficiently. Representative Stevenson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The bill states that who the participants are, but it's voluntary. So how do they sustain themselves? Is there a cost to participate?
There is no cost to participate. We're asking for cooperation to be able to help them with what they need and to participate in what they have, because like Murray State has the bachelor's and the master's, so they can be involved so that they can help other universities get that or send the students through them. But they don't have to cooperate. We didn't want to make it mandatory, and even if you don't, it's going to help you.
Representative Dawson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Senator, I'm not trying to harm what you're working on right here, but I do have an issue with Murray State being omitted. Their Cyber Education Research Center is recognized by both the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and NSA, and it is a program of distinction through the Council of Post-Secondary Education. With Murray State's proximity to Fort Campbell, several years ago we had legislation on the Breathitt Diagnostic Center because of partly because of their work with Fort Campbell. And I would like to see Murray State added to this. Would you have an issue if if I were to do a floor amendment to add them to this legislation?
When you said add them to it, who is on it that, there's not any other universities in the bill itself, is there? What's that? Because it's all comprehensive for everybody to be in it. The only reason that U of L is even stated is because that's where it's going to be housed. And we're excited about working with Murray because of the military there. I'm big with the veterans and that. You can speak to that on.
Yes, and we're hoping to bring Kentucky National Guard missions. I was up in Washington last week with my role with the Association of Defense Communities and talking to three-letter agencies, National Intelligence, and they're very excited about this, and they've stressed it has to be funneled this way through the University of Louisville as a placeholder for this. But NSA is all on board with making Murray State successful, 100%. But the reason this is not going through Murray State is because of the reason Senator Nemes stated before, but Murray State is absolutely 100% going to be part of this, assuming that they're willing to do that, and we're 100% on board with that.
Okay. Once again, I do have an issue that they're not listed because of them already being accredited, but thank you very much.
Representative Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So just so that I'm clear on this, I'm trying to ramp up on a subject I haven't been educated on previously. So the center itself is not actually a University of Louisville center. The funding runs through Louisville. Is that correct?
Well, some of the grants, you can answer that better.
So the intention is that there's a proximity to University of Louisville, physically speaking, where there are secure facilities and so forth that get used by the FBI, by private sector agencies and so forth. So by private sector companies. So there's an element of it that helps the businesses, the state agencies, the federal agencies in the cybersecurity space, and there's an element of it that is intended to raise the tide for all academic programs across the state. And there are things like, for example, cloud-based cyber ranges and cyber gyms that everybody has access to across the state. That's going to help all of our academic programs. So those are that's the distinction. And then the affiliation with U of L allows us to lead big grants that then also get distributed across the state to all the partner institutions. Is that helpful?
Yes, but I'm not there yet. We have a program at Murray. I would like to see us build on that program at Murray. Even if we have to run the funding through University of Louisville, I'm not convinced that we have to have a facility at Louisville and also at Murray when we could already have one at Murray that we could do the funding for.
We also, Murray is the top line, but we also have University of Cumberland's with Northern Kentucky University and what's the two tech schools that we have?
UK, Bluegrass, Owensboro. They're all designated institutions by NSA DHS. So they all have that capacity. So we don't. So we want all of the institutions involved, and we have had all of the institutions involved.
And Murray does have the masters, and I think NKU, and they're top line.
So I guess in short, I wish I'd been available for the interim briefing. I wasn't. I've got to get smarter on this before I can make a decision. So I appreciate the time, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Representative Bray.
Thank you. One of my concerns with it is how does this affect Murray State? Do they support this?
Well, I've been told that the professors in that are all on board with that, but the president still has some reservations on it. But whether they are involved or not, they will be helped by the pipeline we're setting up through the K through 12 and that will be going through their universities and to others for this.
I'll just add the director of their cybersecurity center was one of the first conversations we had, 100% on board. And it never occurred to me to call the president. I wouldn't assume to do that. And so I think there was a breakdown there. But the people, the faculty and the director of their cybersecurity effort was very enthusiastic and was 100% supportive.
So
Yes.
do they support it or not? I'm sorry. Does the president?
If I'm hearing correctly, there is opposition at the administration of Murray, but there may be a more favorable ear among professors, is what I heard. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
No other members seeking recognition, and a motion, a second, have been made on the bill, I think. Is that correct? Motion and second, and no other members seeking recognition. Please call the roll.
Representative Banta,
Yes.
Representative Bentley,
Short explanation.
Very short.
In today's world, a lot of business is done by iCloud. I know lawyers in DC are doing business in Japan, partners in Japan. So I vote no, because I think one thing that's left out in this whole thing is Eastern Kentucky. I never hear anybody
they're
say
not.
anything about east of 75 in this bill. No, thank you.
Representative Bowling,
Yes.
Representative Branscombe,
Explain.
Very briefly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to vote yes today, but I'm going to reserve the right to vote no on the floor. Thank you.
Representative Bray,
No.
Representative Brown,
Yes.
Representative Dossett,
No.
Representative Flannery, Representative Fleming,
A 30-second explanation of my yay vote.
Less than 30 seconds.
Yes, sir. We just entertained Senate Resolution 98. It looks at the different assets of all the universities. I think it's a good collaboration. We're using a lot of the assets to go through and make this a reality. So without this, I don't know if we would be, because I understand that we really need this coming from Congress. Thank you.
Representative Frazier Gordon,
Yes.
Representative Freeland,
No.
Representative Fugit,
No.
Representative Gentry,
Yes.
Representative Hart,
Yes.
Representative Johnson,
I'm going to pass until I get some more information.
Representative McCool,
No.
Representative McPherson,
No.
Representative Palumbo, Representative Raymond,
Yes.
Representative Riley, Representative Stevenson,
I'm going to pass for now.
Representative Upchurch,
Yes.
Vice Chair Breed,
No.
Chair Petrie.
There's some serious concerns on this committee about the way this is set up. And I don't know if it's a lack of information and working the bill with members, if it's some kind of misswirl, I don't know what it is. I have serious concerns in the sense of we have programs in Kentucky that have gone to great efforts to get that undergrad and that master's and keep moving. And we continue to try to make sure that we're spreading throughout the Commonwealth and not pulling in conglomerate in one area. And I can understand that there is good faith being made in the statements of we'll work with and we intend on and we intend on and we intend on, but there's nothing in the bill that really puts teeth behind that intention or makes it happen. If anything like this goes through, understand that there is going to be some serious look at are the words that being spoken today and the intentions being followed, or is it varying from it just the slightest amount? And I would remind that this sets up structure, correct, Senator Nemus?
That is correct.
There is no funding in this.
That is correct.
So that's a separate discussion altogether, correct?
Yes, sir.
I'm a yes. We have 13 yes votes. Senate Bill 33 having received 13 yes votes, 8 no votes, and 2 pass votes, will be reported by the slimmest of areas in this committee that it be reported with favorable expression. The same should pass on the floor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee members.
Thank you.
Senate Bill 122, an act relating to transactions between the Legislative Research Commission and the executive branch. Senator Robbie Mills. Please make sure the green light is really green, close enough to you. Introduce yourself for the record. Anybody else that may be presenting with you, do the same.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Robbie Mills, Senate District 4, sorry. I played last night.
Representative Michael Meredith, House District 19.
Very good. Thank you both. Please raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please proceed, mindful of what the time is at 8:35. Both chambers have session beginning at 9, as I understand. Please proceed.
My comments will be very short. This is an administrative bill that requires the Finance Cabinet and LRC to come into a contract and discuss the spaces that we are in the process of swapping back and forth.
We have a committee we have a motion to adopt committee sub PHS 1 and a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? PHS 1 is adopted. We now have before us Senate Bill 122 as amended by PHS 1. Please continue.
So the underlying bill is what I just discussed. It gives it'll give control of the parking situation, possibly give options on some other maintenance of the space that the LRC is occupying in the annex. And
Have a motion on the bill and a second for passage as amended by the committee substitute. Any member seeking recognition? Representative Fraser Gordon.
I have one brief question. Will this also address the road between the annex and the Capitol?
I believe that there's a separate bill on that, but I don't think it limits the discussion of that. I mean, I think the good thing about this bill is that it brings the two parties together and makes them come into an agreement on how the campus is being used.
With a motion and a second on the bill, no other member seeking recognition, please call a roll.
Representative Banta,
Yes.
Representative Bentley,
Yes.
Representative Bowling,
Yes.
Representative Branscombe,
Yes.
Representative Bray,
Yes.
Representative Brown,
No.
Representative Dossett,
Yes.
Representative Flannery, Representative Fleming,
Aye.
Representative Fraser Gordon,
Yes.
Representative Freeland,
Yes.
Representative Fugit,
Yes.
Representative Gentry,
No.
Representative Hart,
Yes.
Representative Johnson,
Yes.
Representative McCool,
Yes.
Representative McPherson,
Yes.
Representative Palumbo, Representative Raymond,
No, to explain, we're going to tell the public
You may briefly explain.
we ran out of time to do really good legislation, and then we're going to need to tell them that we ran out of time to do really good legislation because we were dealing with the snack bar and the lieutenant governor's parking spot. No.
Representative Riley,
Yes.
Representative Stevenson,
No.
Representative Upchurch,
Yes.
Vice Chair Reed,
Yes.
Chair Petrie.
Yes. Senate Bill 122 is amended by PHS 1, having received 18 yes votes, 4 no votes, 0 pass votes, will be reported favorably from this committee. That same should pass on the floor. Thank you very much. We have a motion and a second on the title amendment. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Title amendment is adopted. Thank you. Next up, we have Senate Bill 99. I did say that. An act relating to special purpose funds and declaring an emergency. Sponsor Senator Whitney Westerfield. Please make sure the microphone is sufficiently close to you. The green light is really green. Please introduce yourself for the record.
Light is on, Chairman. I'm Whitney Westerfield, Senator for the 3rd District.
Very good. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Please proceed.
Senate Bill 99 came about.
We have PHS 5 on Senate Bill 99. There is a motion and a second for adoption. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? It is adopted. We have before us Senate Bill 99 as amended by PHS 5. Please proceed.
Senate Bill 99 came about as a result of news reports indicating checks that were distributed from the Team Kentucky relief funds for both West Kentucky and East Kentucky had gone to people that hadn't applied for them and didn't need them. In fact, I got, long about the same time those news reports started coming out, I got contacted by a constituent in Hopkinsville who sent me a copy of the check, a photo of it, that the memo line actually referred to as payment number 2. It was for $1,000. And Hopkinsville had some tornado damage, nothing like some of the other communities around other parts of western Kentucky. But this gentleman wasn't one of them. He had never sought any payment. Senate Bill 99 attempts to figure out what happened. I'm glad that the governor set up the funds. I'm not criticizing that decision at all. I think it was a good use of the pulpit that the governor has. In fact, the LRC's website had links to those funds for a long time, if I'm not mistaken, on the homepage. I don't have a problem with the funds. But I want to make sure we get to the bottom of where the funds went. I had questions about where the money for West and East have gone, how they made decisions.
Anything further? Sorry.
I appreciate the motion in the second promptly. I think it's just helpful that we get answers to those questions. And I do want to disclose that the executive branch has provided a lot of the information in terms of distributions, but has not yet provided all the information that Senate Bill 99 asks for. Specifically, how they made distribution decisions, how $1,000 was the reason they sent in some amounts. What order or prioritization of claims did they file or follow? So there are still some unanswered questions there that the bill is necessary to get.
Very good. And just for clarification, PHS 5 also addresses the issue of allowing WK and EK safe funds to be utilized for necessary governmental services on public buildings and allow a 0% interest loan for up to 20 years to enable them to seek FEMA reimbursement as well as have the money available so they can go ahead with rebuilding relative to EMS, police, and fire.
Excellent.
There's also another section that includes what we had passed previously out of this committee is House Bill 257, sponsored by myself, that would create a trust fund into which all donations in the future would be placed, segregated by purpose, and then appropriated by the General Assembly and an appropriation therefore
Which I think
in the
cures
bill
the constitutional problem.
that would allow that to take care of appropriations that are already received with the Team Kentucky funds.
Yes, sir.
Representative Fleming.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senator, so is this sort of an audit light that you're proposing here, or can we do this more of a full-blown audit to go through this and make sure that these things are appropriated correctly?
I don't have a problem with doing either. My fundamental questions were what I posed. What very genuinely, Representative Fleming, I was thinking, what answers do I want? And that's when I sent the bill request in, I said, I'd like to know how they decided who gets what, when they get what, where did it all go, what's the constitutional authority for this? We had talked to the auditor's office about possibly doing a full examination. There's a couple of hesitations I had when I decided not to include that in the original bill. Time was the biggest issue there. I don't have a problem with doing a full examination at all. I wanted answers, and I think we can get answers, and I don't think it's too much to ask the executive branch to provide us the answers to the questions in Senate Bill 99 by June 30. And we also put an emergency clause on it. I assume that's still there, but I don't know if that's still in the sub or not. I don't have a problem with that if the House chooses to add that. I know because of Auditor Harmon being a candidate, he would almost certainly have to choose a third party. That adds some time to do a full examination, just takes longer. I want to make sure we have the answers in time to respond soon enough and responsibly enough.
Thank you. No other members seeking recognition. Please call the roll.
Representative Banta,
Yes.
Representative Bentley,
Yes, ma'am.
Representative Bowling, Representative Branscombe,
Yes.
Representative Bray,
Yes.
Representative Brown,
No.
Representative Dossett,
Yes.
Representative Flannery, Representative Fleming, Representative Frazier Gordon,
Yes.
Representative Freeland,
Yes.
Representative Fugit,
Yes.
Representative Gentry,
Yes.
Representative Hart,
Yes.
Representative Johnson,
Yes.
Representative McCool,
Yes.
Representative McPherson,
Yes.
Representative Palumbo, Representative Raymond, Representative Riley, Representative Stevenson,
Yes.
Representative Upchurch,
Yes.
Vice Chair Reed,
Yes.
Chair Petrie.
Yes.
Chairman and members, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Senate Bill 99 as amended by PHS 5, having received 21 yes votes, 1 nay vote, 0 pass votes, will be reported from this committee with favorable expression that same should pass on the floor. Have a motion for the title amendment and a second for adoption. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Title amendment is adopted. Thank you very much. Next up, we have Senate Bill 162, an act relating to public safety, making an appropriation therefore, and declaring an emergency. Sponsor, Senator Danny Carroll. Please make sure the microphone is sufficiently close to you. The green light in the center is really green. Please introduce yourself for the record.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Danny Carroll, the state senator from the 2nd District. And, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to forego my opening comments. I think you all are
If you
acutely...
will, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please proceed.
I think you all are acutely aware of all the issues with DJJ.
Have a motion and a second for adoption of PHS 2, Senate Bill 162. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Committee sub is adopted. Before us now, we have Senate Bill 162 as amended by PHS 2. Please proceed. I have a motion and a second for adoption for final passage of Senate Bill 162 as amended by PHS 2. Your discretion.
Mr. Chairman, your committee knows the issues, and I think you know this bill. I'm good.
Representative Raymond.
I appreciate this bill. I wanted to ask about one very small part, which is that we're asking DJJ to create a youth offender management system. Can you explain what that is? And really why I'm asking is thinking, what are we using right now and how are we keeping track of our kids?
We really have there isn't a system. When we ask for statistics from the secretary, they just can't get them. They don't have an adequate system to compile any type of useful data. They are already transitioning to the same system that the Department of Correction utilizes, and they're also applying for grants to help cover the cost of this. So we will be able to better track all the statistics related to DJJ in the future.
Thank you.
Seeing no other member seeking recognition, with a motion and second on adoption of Senate Bill 99 Senate Bill 162 as amended by PHS 2, please call the roll.
Representative Banta,
Yes.
Representative Bentley,
Yes.
Representative Bowling, Representative Branscombe,
Yes.
Representative Bray,
Yes.
Representative Brown,
Yes.
Representative Dossett,
Yes.
Representative Flannery, Representative Fleming, Representative Frazier Gordon,
Yes.
Representative Freeland,
Yes.
Representative Fugit,
Yes.
Representative Gentry, Representative Hart,
Yes.
Representative Johnson,
Yes.
Representative McCool,
Yes.
Representative McPherson.
Yes.
Representative Palumbo. Representative Raymond.
Yes.
Representative Riley. Representative Stevenson.
Yes.
Representative Upchurch.
Yes.
Vice Chair Breed.
Yes.
Chair Petrie.
Yes. Senate Bill 162 as amendment of PHS 2, having received 22 yes votes, 0 nay votes, and 0 pass votes, will be reported from this committee with favorable observation. The same should pass on the floor. Thank you.
May I make a closing statement quickly?
Yes, please, briefly.
Very much a bipartisan, bicameral effort. I don't know that I've been involved in anything up here in my 9 years that was as rewarding as this. We had a very difficult task that had to be completed in a very timely manner. Both parties, both chambers contributed significantly. And Mr. Chairman, I'm grateful for your efforts on the fiscal aspects of this. And just know that the work is appreciated and the cooperation is appreciated. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. We are adjourned.